Hi, I'm Margaret Morris-Calderon, and I'm going to talk about my Walmart experience that I've been abused and harassed in Arkansas, Huntsville Walmart by primarily 3 employees there. I have lived in Huntsville, Arkansas since 1998, and I've lived in my home since 2002. The same address, and I have been a resident taxpayer in this county ever since. I have been shopping in this area, and I have never in my life run across anybody bullying me and harassing me in the Walmart since they opened as I have recently. I have over 25 years in retail experience. I went to an occupational course in California called Skrock, and this was before laser was invented for the registers. This is grocery retail cashiering. This is the Regional Occupational Center of Southern California training that I trained in store in all the departments that are in a grocery store, and finished. This is my certificate of proficiency. I have worked in Marshall's department store in California. I worked in Sam's Club in Arkansas. I worked in Lowe's a couple years in Arkansas. I also am the only cashier there that had completed a 100% score by mystery shopper while I was there. I have worked for Fiesta Liquor for a couple years. That's in Springdale. I worked at U-Haul at the desk and inventory and stock and customer service. And I also worked at Kohl's for over 5 years, and I still have my compliment cards from the customers at Kohl's. Well, I worked at Kohl's for over 5 years. My name's on their plaque. I worked at White Oak gas station off and on for a couple years. There's numerous retail jobs, price cutters I worked at in Springdale, that I have over 25 years of experience in retail. And this is what happened to me. I have all my receipts from my experiences that I'm talking about, and I'm going to swear what I'm saying to you today is the God honest truth. And I've kept all my report numbers from reporting to corporate, and then it was escalated to ethics. I have all my receipts to back me up that I'm going to photocopy and put on paper with notes on the sides of them for what I'm going to do in my personal choices. And this is about, I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to put my glasses on because there's a lot of little bugs, and I had a bug in my eye yesterday, so I'm going to protect my eyes. February 12th, 2022. The time is military. 15/22/31 is the time of my receipt. I just finished, I was trying to check out, and after so many months, the cash registers were now offering cash back. And I was jazzed. I'm like, oh right, I can get cash back and I don't have to ask for help. And I was going to take a 20 out, but it wouldn't give it to me. And I tried again and again. And then I showed the associates in the cashier department what was going on with the register, and they said, well, it must be your card or the bank or something like that. And then they told Renee what was going on with the register not giving cash. I don't believe there was any cash in it, because let me get to that part. Renee, then she goes into the middle of the floor on the cashier floor and announces, the cash registers are now offering cash back. None of the employees were even coached knowing that that's what was going on their duty shift. So that was announced in front of, and that's on camera. She's standing in the middle of the floor, and they were saying it's my card or my bank, and I says, no, you watch. I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree next door, and I'm going to get cash back, and I'll prove it to you with my receipt. And that's what I did. It was just 20 feet, 50 feet away, say, or a little more. And came back with my receipt, went directly to the customer service on the left side of the store and asked to speak to the manager, and I will attach the video link to this. Renee came up to listen to me why I wanted a manager, and I told her, this is my receipt. I do have money in my account and there's nothing wrong with my card. And she says, they're just registers. Registers make mistakes. And she's walking back and forth telling me this line on, we're not responsible for them. They're just machines. They make mistakes. I says, yeah, but they're Walmart machines. No, they're just machines. They make errors. And I says, yeah, but who owns those machines? And she says, Walmart does. And then she says, she gets in my face and she says, what do you want? You want me to give you cash back? Because that's what other customers are coming to me wanting. And I'm just like, I'm not those other customers. And in my head, I know that if the register isn't taking money out of my account, I'm not getting debited it. That wasn't even an issue for me. And so I'm scared because now she's comparing me to something that's not even happening. She's making up something. So I reached down to grab my cell phone and start recording. And she looks down at my hand and says, are you gonna record? And I said, yes. At the beginning of that recording, you could see her yellow vest right up next to the camera. The first frame is her right up in my face. Once I started recording, she backed up to the customer service desk and composed herself into a whole different person. And she wasn't going to let me talk. That's why I was telling what I had to say fast to get it out there, because they refused to allow me to finish a sentence. They refused to allow me to give me any credit or respect that I might know something or anything. They want to interrupt, bully, and override me, and I wanted to prevent that before it even happened. And I said what I had to say, and then she wanted to say, no, it's not the register then, it's your card. They didn't have any cash in the register, and she was not going to say that there was no cash in the register. So I recorded that, and then Jared walks up, and I got him in the part of it, and he's telling me to stop recording, and there was nothing more for me to say or do. So then I went to leave. I'm outnumbered, and they don't want to acknowledge anything, and so there was nothing more. And I went to leave, and Jared starts storming, running after me. And I'm walking to the door, and Renee's yelling, Jared, let her go, let her go, let her go, just let her go. And he's chasing me to the door. And I go home and make a report, and I have my report numbers all documented. I called the corporate office, made my first report on this, and then about 3 days later, that was February 18th, and that time frame was military time 17/34/11 on February 18th. The first one was on the 12th. This is the 18th. 17/34/11 time frame on my receipt. I go in just to do some regular stocking my shelves for shopping, little things, and Renee was in there on her day off. I saw her there pushing her cart. I went to go get some gummies, some sweets, and then I'm moving around the store, and I'm thinking, well, it's Easter. I wonder what they have in candy over in the Easter side. And I see something similar in a bigger bag for the same price. So I take that, and then I go back to put my gummies back, and I put it on the shelf, come out of that aisle to the center aisle, make my right turn towards the registers, And Renee sees me, and she's standing there in the center aisle, and she says, "You have your nerve to come back here and shop." And I'm just like, really? In my mind, you know, I'm thinking this. And I said, "I didn't do anything wrong." And I headed towards the front customer service area, and I wanted a manager. All the little employees started scurrying around, telling everybody, "She's getting a manager, she's getting a manager." And here comes Renee. And I think it was Derek. Yeah, it was Derek. It was Derek there. And I told Derek that your employee is harassing me. I'm pointing to her because she's standing there, just us three, nobody else. And she denied it. She denied saying anything to me. Well, why is she there then? You know, that's common sense. Why is she there then? Why does she know I have an issue with her? She wouldn't even be there if she didn't say anything. And Derek says, "Well, she's not clocked in, so there's nothing I can do about that." And I'm thinking to myself, oh, really? I mean, Walmart is hiring people and they don't even train them. You can't bully somebody just because you're not clocked in. That's illegal. That's harassment. You can't do that. By law, that is harassment. So I didn't say anything to him. I just knew it was wrong, and I left. And then a few days later, and I reported that too. I have my report number for that one, same corporate number, and make my complaint. And they don't put anything incorrect that I say. I'm always having to recorrect them, and they don't straighten it out. They never had through this whole thing. And then a few days later, I come back in, and the guy at the register area, he has dark hair. He is constantly stalking me at the registers, so bad that one day, because he was telling me how to swipe my card, how to insert it, breathing down my neck, I went back into the store and I showed him this. I says, "You know what? You don't have to do that. I have over 25 years experience in cashier retail. I know how to do this. You know, you don't need to do that." And I'm showing him my history, you know, to give him some assurance that I know what I'm doing. And he still doesn't stop. And then on this day, a few days later, after the 18th, maybe it was the 20th or 23rd, I'm in there again, and he's flagging the men, managers of the different departments. "She's in again, she's in again." And they made a huddle. There was 3 men. They made a huddle, and they were like this together in a group, a clan. And they were walking by me, and they wanted to make sure I saw them, and this is what I have to deal with, you know. And I'm just like, I'm getting my groceries. Nothing happened. Nothing went on that day, but they made a spectacle of themselves for nothing, you know. So then that took place, and I didn't report that because it was just a ridiculous ego joke that I was confronted with. I also have receipts from this dark-haired guy trying to get me to go to a big register where they have customers that take more than 10 things, and I've got a pack of gum and something else, 2 things, and there's an open short register counter for 10 items or less that I'm walking to, and I'm ready to use it, and he wants to direct me to another register, and I'm like, no, I want to be at this one. And this guy is constantly breathing down my neck. I always go to the podium area where all the other cashiers are nearby so they can see me, because there's nothing I can do to get this guy to just leave me alone. And so I'm always where everybody can see me, in the center of the cashier floor whenever I'm checking out. I make sure everybody can see me and everything I'm doing. So then April comes, April the 4th, and it is, my receipt time says 17:33:17. And military time, April 4th, 2022, 17:33:17. This is when the police came. I was using the self-checkout. All these are at self-checkouts. I don't go to any registers where they're going to help me because I've been doing retail for over 25 years. It doesn't make sense to me to go to somebody to help me. I know what I'm doing. I know retail. So the register is not reading my card. It's not reading my bank card. It's telling me to repeat my chip and repeat the swipe over and over. By the third time, I look around because I can see that the electronics are failing and they're slow and they're not clicking on time. And I said, is there something wrong with this register? And this young lady says, yes, there is. There is something wrong with it. Let me just get your ring up sheet and I'll take you over to our register and tally you there. And right when she was saying that, it kicked in and started working. And I told her, never mind, it's working, and she could see it working. And you know, I put my pin in and I finish, and she reaches over, her back is to the podium where all the other associates are, so they can't see from what's happening on the other side of her between me and the screen. It's me here, like you're the screen, her here, and then the podium with the other cashier operators standing around or moving around helping other people over there. And she reaches in and she goes to my screen to choose 5 stars for me, and I'm looking at her like, what are you doing? And then I'm having to wait because I can't get my receipt out until she's finished. And I was going to choose 1 star because the register wasn't working. Nobody told me that it was reported at all. They didn't say it's not working and it's reported. Somebody's going to come eventually when they got time to do it, to look at it. Nobody's coaching me on anything. And once I get my receipt and I look at her and I say, that's for me to do. I'm supposed to choose the star option on my customer shopping experience. She says, no, I'm supposed to. And I said, no, that's for me. And then she walks away, and Alicia, A-L-Y-S-S-A, she was nearby, and I said, what's that girl's name? And she says, I don't know, she's new. And so I go, okay, I see her cleaning the counters with a spray bottle and towel, and she sees me coming towards her. I walk towards her, and she turns around, and I can see her name tag says Cassie, or Casey. I look at it, and she sees I see her name, and I say, Cassie, I have been in retail for over 25 years. Believe me, that register screen is for me to use when I'm operating it. It wasn't an employee option or issue. That's for me. And she says again, I'm supposed to. And I said, no, that's a customer. It says for the customer to do a survey. And she says again, I'm supposed to. And I said, don't lie to me. You know, I mean, that's all she was saying. And then Aaliyah comes over and she says, okay, that's enough. And so I looked at her and Casey, and I went to go put my groceries in my car. And I had my receipt, came back in the store, make an immediate left to go into the customer service area and ask to speak to a supervisor. They called over a supervisor that has been there for years, and I know cashier operators there I've known for years that I get along very well with. We have little chats when I'm checking out. I know one of them's kid is allergic to fish, and I know another one, her interests are on little talk, you know, on the weekends, and we talk about little animal things, and you know, I've known them for years. The people that have been there for a long time have known me for years, and they have walked away from anyone that wants to point me out as a clan into their malicious behavior. because this is what's going on, is malicious behavior, and they'll walk away from it. They don't want to be a part of it. This lady with long brown hair comes in, and I'm telling her what's going on, and this is going to be on my second video that I have posted, and everything that this store has reported in a reflect has been lies. They said made up things that there is no store camera history on, no purchase or actions to support them. And I've been here 23 years. Before there was a Walmart there, I have been shopping. I'm going to make another video about, I was a founder of Peace for Pets Humane Association, and I was registered with the Secretary of State, Arkansas Secretary of State, and I had EIN C3 numbers, tax exempt, with the prevention of cruelty to animals. And I was active in Madison County, Arkansas, in my environment and the volunteer work that I did, and helped put the pet shelter together, and everything that I did involved with the community and getting the kids in all the schools and grammar schools. Kind News by the Humane Society of the United States for 4 consecutive years at 4th grade level, $200 a year for St. Paul Grammar School, Huntsville Grammar School, and Kingston Grammar School. And me volunteering painting and priming when they built the pet shelter, and my good rapport with past employees and the director of the pet shelter, and just some really negative gossip going completely out of line as my character. And people are saying this that I don't know, I've never met, I've never talked to, they don't know anything about me. And there's one post by a woman who works for the senior center that has shared my video. If you go to search bar and put in Walmart, you'll find her, and you'll see all these people making these derogatory remarks about me, and they don't even know me. I don't know them. I don't know any of them. And there's some of them are Walmart employees. I've gotten threats, so I'm forced to do this, and it's to protect myself. And I swear to God, what I have said is the truth, and I can prove it by store video, and I've given the time for anybody who wants to look at this. Please look. Please look and educate yourself. Don't be a Klan's hate member. Don't be lowering yourself to stupid behavior. Stupid behavior is blind. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I have done nothing wrong to deserve a notice of no trespassing by Walmart employees. This is malicious behavior and abuse and harassing me and defaming me in my community.